Okay, hi everyone. I'll be going over the service called Haystackers and what it does and how it can be used. First, let's talk about what it is. So, um, this Haystackers is a system for listing and renting farm equipment. So, users of this website can be either owners. Owners can list equipment, such as tractors, harvesters, planters, combines, and other equipment that are listed in the website. And then there are also renters. Renters can search for equipment that owners have listed and reach out to the owners and make payments across this website to rent that equipment for a certain amount of days. So this is very similar to a car rental system, an online car rental system, but instead it applies directly for farm equipment, such as tractors and attachments. And one thing that's best special about this website is that it emphasizes compatibility. So this website helps people find rental equipment such as tractors, and because of this, they also have a wide selection of attachments they can choose from. These attachments can be from the same owner as the tractors, so they can be used together, which makes it compatible. And if there are issues, the website will allow you to look at different vendors. So we ensure that the products that you get are compatible such that they can be used together. And that's basically what this product is. So next, I would like to just go over the basic features of this website. So I will be showing the homepage, and I'll be showing the features that anyone can access, even without signing in. So if you go to the homepage, you see at the very first top icon, the top section over here, we give an option to immediately search for listings. I'll be going over searching for listings later, but this is just a quick access way where you can search for listings. But let's keep going down the homepage for now. So this just tells you information about what the company does and what the product does. And this here tells you information about how this works, such as you first search for the equipment, then you book the equipment, and then you decide on pickups, and this is for renters, and then you use your equipment, and then you can return the equipment. And then owners will also have a similar process of listing and giving out equipment. So then obviously you can find the different equipment that's being used that I already talked about, such as tractors, combines, and more. And if you click on any one of these, you can search for listings that are of that type. So that's just a quick access way to search for things. If you scroll a little down, you can also see the use cases of this equipment. If you click on any one of these, you will find equipment that is compatible with that type of a crop. So I just clicked on the corn button. You can see that this equipment is useful for that for corn. So you go back and we keep going down, then you'll notice that we also have a section that says the locations. So these are just some of the locations. Obviously, there are so many more locations that these machines can be uh, rented from, but these are some agricultural locations. Just California and Texas, and with some pictures on how this would work. If you click on the California location, then it'll show you equipment that's from that location. Right now, nothing is available because I haven't selected any dates yet, but that's what would be showing. And you can also see some other information if you want more evidence about reviews, as well as some small question answers, such as you can look at questions for renters and for the owner, frequently asked questions. And then if you go down here, you can also subscribe to emails, or you can say hello and write a message to the people that are running this site. So that if you have any other questions that have not been answered over here, you can ask them down over here. And down here, once again, I think I already covered the agricultural zones, but here there are some more zones, and it works the same way. If you click on any one of these, it'll default the location to that one. So then you can search for equipment from that zone directly. So this homepage is designed to be extensive, so it has multiple features without you having to move to any other pages. And it provides a lot of information about how this service would work and why it would be beneficial. Also, if you scroll down here, on every page you would see our footer or our bottom menu. And this is where you have, in addition to the agricultural zones, you have options to look at our story, which is basically still part of the home page. There's also an about option, and if you see, some of the options are very similar to the top menu over here, the header, which is also the same in every page. So the About Us page will take you to a different page over here called About Us, and that would be the same thing as clicking the About below. If you click on Press, you would see any latest news that's hosting this company, Haystackers. Currently, it goes to LinkedIn, and it shows the LinkedIn posts regarding Haystackers, so you can see what other people have to say about it. It also allows you to search tractors or search listings. So there are basically different ways you can search for things. You can use the homepage, like we initially discussed, or you can scroll down and you can search for tractors using just directly the Search Tractors button. And then owners have the option to list tractors. I'll be covering how to list later. And renters also have the option to search tractors as well. And there's also a support feature. So if you click on Help Center, which is this button here, Help Center, you'll be able to send an email to someone who can probably help you with this. And also on the very bottom right of the screen, there's a Chat with Us option. So this will allow you to talk to an agent that is running this website and that might be able to help you. If an agent is not available, at this time, you'll probably be able to ask an AI assistant, which will kind of help you guide you around the features of the website. And you also have the option to wait for an actual person to answer your chat if you have a specific question. And also down here, you can see the Follow Us buttons here for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter or X. And if you click any one of those, you will see it'll redirect you to the social media page for this Haystackers. And on the very bottom, this is probably one of the most important parts because it contains all about the information on the terms of usage for this website. You have terms and conditions. Clicking on it will open up a PDF file of all the terms and conditions that can be easily downloaded since it's a large file. And the same thing for the privacy policy as well. It'll tell you about the website privacy policy here, and this can also easily be downloaded using the download feature on the PDF. Soon we will have Google Play and Apple App Store iOS apps available. Right now, clicking on them will not do anything specific, but soon these buttons will redirect you to the Google Store and the Apple Store for this feature, for this service. So lastly, let's just go over the top over here. We've already covered the About Us. How it works is another page. This will just tell you again the 5-step process that I've already discussed. You first search, so renters can first search for the equipment. Then they can book the equipment if it's available. Then they can either have it get delivered or can pick up the equipment from wherever it is. That's where you'll provide your address or you'll provide your preference as to how to do this. You would use your equipment for a certain amount of time, and then you will return the equipment using return forms. And I'll be going over this process a little more in detail next. So then over here, on the home page, we already saw some FAQs, frequently asked questions for renters and owners. But if you want some more detailed questions and answers, you can always go to the FAQ section on the top menu, which is also available on the bottom menu, both here, FAQs on the bottom menu as well. So basically, this will go over, if you're confused on how to use the websites, just how to create an account, which I'll be going over later, would be creating an account here, as well as some policies that are, like, this is not the privacy policy, this is the policy for renting equipment. You also have some more renter and owner questions that are more extensive than the questions that were provided on the homepage. So if you want more information, you can see the questions and answers over here. This will probably help to make sure you are aware of how the website fully works before you make any bookings. So I recommend reading through these frequently asked questions. And when you pay for equipment, you'll need to provide a credit card. That's how the charges are being done. So this just explains how the charge works and basically things you need to know about what you're being charged for, such as any transaction fees and companies that are or company fees that go to Haystackers. That way you know exactly what you're going to be charged for in detail. So lastly, the customer support feature here just opens the chat as well. So one thing is the website provides options to go to these pages on the top menu, as well as on the bottom menu that we have seen previously. And that, how we have the chat button on the bottom and the customer support button on the top. We have about button on the bottom and the same about button on the top. This allows you to just choose the button that's most nearest to you. So if you're on the bottom of a page, you can easily choose the options that are on the bottom. And if you're on the top of the page, you can choose the options that are closer to the top. Especially since if you're using a smaller screen or a mobile device, it will not always show the header and will not always show the footer. So for that reason, the options are being provided in both in case one is only visible. All right. This list your equipment button over here is just another way for owners to actually list equipment. Users are allowed to be both owners and renters at the same time, or one or the other. So you can rent equipment from others, and you can also list your own equipment at the same time. And this just shows you this button here, the cart button, shows you your cart. Right now it's empty, but when I start to show you how to book equipment, it'll fill up. Next, we will be talking about creating your account and managing your profile settings. Thank you.